There's two people in my family that had diabetes, my grandmother and my father. My grandmother struggled with complications from her diabetes, and my dad struggled with understanding how to eat properly and exercise, and he passed away a year ago.
My husband found out about 3 years ago that he was diabetic, and he is currently, on a pretty strict regimen as far as insulin and medication is concerned. He has to be very careful what he eats. He has to be careful about the amount of medication he takes when he takes it. There have been instances where he has almost gone into a coma from his blood sugar being so low, has dropped really, really low that he just about passes out. And that's happened a couple of times. So, there's different instances where we have had to be extra careful.
My brother's name was Richard, and he had type 2 diabetes. And he passed away November 7th, 2002, and he was 42 years old. He was diagnosed when he was 21. He was actually, the last couple years, I believe, he was on dialysis, so it was, a long, rough road.
Northwest, of course, followed my career starting with the Hudson's Bay Company. In 1965, I joined, and it's either 1993 or 1994 in Moosonee. And at the time, Murray Deween was in the store, I believe, as office manager, and I was district manager. And in our conversations, Murray brought up the idea that diabetes was something that he was certainly, as a Lion, very much interested in looking at as an item of fundraising, and would I consider the fact, putting the collection boxes in our stores in James Bay, which at the time I was managing, 10 stores and all. So I had the wherewithal to say, yeah, we could or we couldn't, and I was certainly inclined to say yes, and I would, and did. But not as a Lion effort, but as something that this would be a Northwest effort, a Northern effort. And so it began. And from the first year, we collected around $3,500. And during the year, I had let Edward know that this is something we were doing. I thought, maybe I should. And his response was one that really encouraged me, and that was, he said, well, Jim, for every $1 you collect, I'll give you 50 cents. And so began the journey.
Diabetes has affected my family. 6 people in my family have diabetes. The most significant would be my youngest cousin, who was diagnosed at the age of 5.
Yes, my ex-husband, he has type 1 diabetes, so I'm running for my girls.
on behalf of the Canadian Diabetes Association and the 9 million Canadians and over 90 million Americans who have prediabetes and diabetes, we wanted to say thanks. Really to thank you for raising what will be somewhere in the vicinity of $650,000 at this event, which is just amazing. I did also want to extend a very special and warm welcome to Edward Kennedy, Edward, and your family from Northwest, the great company. Thank you.
Diabetes is very tightly connected with heart disease, and I felt a real passion about helping raise funds for diabetes research.
Go Team Diabetes!
Before we get started, I want to call on Grand Chief Harper to lead us in some blessings.
Thank you. We're going to have a prayer. Let's stand. I'm going to pray in my language. I'm going to pray we have a successful run tomorrow. Everybody go in good health. Mandugag si Odin, kinanak mo nung magigagak, mga isdagon siyang, medyo kanam siyang, medyo kunin siyang, nanakabuan, kanin matawag na kawasan at ganang tao. Tingnan is kanagan, medyo gagawin mo nung magigagak. So ito na yung mismo ng mga It's the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen.
Please welcome Edward Kennedy.
I would have never imagined 9 years ago when the Northwest team was just myself, and it started with an idea from one of our district managers who's not here tonight, Jim Dayal, but those at CDA and at Northwest know Jim very well. And Jim had started a coin collection box program in our Moosonee store. It had spread around a number of our stores, and in 1 year he said, you know, we could raise some serious money if someone like you, i.e. the CEO, would get up and go run and join the CDA marathon team. And that led to doing it in Rome, and it was, for me, a life-changing thing to A, run a marathon, but B, be part of this, and now to look across this room. And I'll say right off the top that I'm speaking as much to all the folks that are here, whether you're part of the Northwest group or not, all from across Canada who have been part of the CDA events. The effort that's gone into being here today and now tomorrow to have the sort of the culmination of all that work, no matter what happens, as long as everyone's safe, I think the real celebration has already started. And I just take my hat off to everyone and thank you for choosing to be part of all this, and in a way help Northwest and everyone else who's here who isn't from Northwest help so many other people. So thanks very much. Thank you.
Enjoy yourselves tomorrow, and it truly is the final countdown, because now we're going to tell you that the final countdown starts at 5 a.m. tomorrow.
from my dad, who battled type 2 diabetes. Actually passed away 3 years ago, exactly today. And is, going through the experience, watching him, definitely an inspiration, motivate me to do what's right for especially the people that we support up in the north.
My brother's name is Warren, and Warren was actually had his first year of college. So he was diagnosed relatively late for juvenile diabetes. So he was, I believe, 19 years old or 18 years old at the time. And one day he just couldn't get out of bed at his dorm and thought something was seriously wrong. And so it was a hard adjustment for him. You're in the prime of your life and suddenly, you're told that you have this serious health condition.
My ex-husband was diabetic, type 1, and he died in 2005. My son, 14-year-old son, came back from camp one year, really upset about his dad and everything. And I thought, well, hey, would you like to run a half marathon for Team Diabetes?
My father has type 1 diabetes. A cousin of mine is affected. He has type 2 as well. He's only in his 30s. So yeah, it's in my family.
I have a first cousin who passed away from complications from diabetes. She passed away just last month, and that was, I wish I could help her in a way, but I wish the association could help people like her in the future.
My mom actually is diabetic, and I've seen how her life has changed over the years, how her life is dictated by the disease on how she does a lot of things, just anything from watching what time she eats, just to making sure she has enough sleep, exercising properly, and I hope that I never get to that.
My dad suffers from type 2 diabetes as well. I've watched him a few years back. It's not easy. The lifestyle is completely changed. A lot of my close family members and friends are also suffering from the same devastating disease.
My dad passed away a couple of years ago, part of it was affiliated because of the diabetes. He didn't heal well enough, so he passed away.
della Dado che ha fatto Trisse, la ricordiamo vincitrice del 2009 in 2 ore e 28, particolarmente sconosciuta, l'anno passato 2 ore 25 e 10 e poi quest'anno ha realizzato il suo record 2 ore 24 e 13. Allora attenzione!
People often ask me why I run marathons, and often they'll ask me if I'm a diabetic. I don't have diabetes, but diabetes lives in my community, in my friends' homes, and also affects my family too, because my husband lives with type 2 diabetes. Honolulu was my first full marathon, and it wasn't going to be my last. You see, from the time I was 12 or 13, I was inspired by a movie that I've watched about a woman who qualified for the Boston Marathon, a simple person, a mother of 2 and a housewife. That night when I went to bed, I said to myself, one day I'm going to be like her. Now that dream was put on hold for a little while, but my dream of running a marathon, I never lost hope, because I often believe if you have hope behind your dream will come true. And that's exactly what happened. I applied to be part of Team Diabetes through the Northwest Company in 2006. And when I accepted the challenge, I thought to myself, what have I done? But I knew the reason why I was doing it. I wanted to make a positive difference in my community. And I continue to run marathons. Where there's a marathon to be completed, funds to be raised for diabetes, for sure I'll be crossing the finish line with all of you here, with great honor. You see, I believe in myself. But what brings me to these events is my sponsors and my community. They've believed in me. They didn't believe in me once. They've believed in me 3 times. And truly, I tell my kids, the students I work with, the grade 3s and the grade 6s, I tell them, no matter what you do, I believe in you. But you must believe in yourself also, because nothing is impossible if people believe in you. And I truly believe in the Northwest Company for selecting me, and what an honor it was to complete my marathon here amongst you people. And I was just honored, the joy that I felt, the honor that I felt. And I represent my hometown of La Loche and my community. When I was speaking to my husband yesterday, he said to me, so did you buy anything yourself from Rome? I said, no, Stephen. How could I? I have to bring back a little something for everybody that sponsored me. So quite often I go to these events, I don't buy myself anything. But I take home with me for every person that sponsored me, from the person who sponsored me $500 to the child who walked into my office and gave me $1. I'm sorry. You see, what happened was, when I started fundraising, I put up my pledge sheet. And I know it was close to Christmas, so I didn't get that many donations right off the bat. And I took my poster down after 6 weeks. I was sitting in my office and I was thinking, my goodness, how am I going to meet this deadline? A little girl knocked on my door and she said to me, Mrs. King, are you still fundraising for Rome? I said, I am. She said, Mrs. King, this $1 is for you. Oh. I'm sorry. I get emotional when I talk about it. Because a child believed in me. And that's why I do it. I believe in the kids that I work with, and those kids believe in me. And like I always say, believe in yourself. And the people who sponsor you believe in you. And what an honor it is for me to come back 3rd time around to participate with Team D. And I must truly say what an honor it was that somebody in Winnipeg gave me an opportunity to run a marathon. And I'm still living my life dream. To all of you here who completed the marathon, congratulations. Even the ones who didn't complete the marathon, congratulations to you too. You've raised the funds for diabetes research. We all believe in a miracle. I truly believe that we as a team will one day find a cure for diabetes. That is my hope and my dream. Thank you.
The deepest and sincerest thanks really goes to you, each and every one of you, for what you've done how you've been able to provide the funding to us that we know will make a difference in so many people's lives in so many different ways. That's so important, and you are a tremendous amount of people. It's an honor to be here with you, to have met most of you for the first time and some of you again. And I just thank you from the bottom of my heart on behalf of the 9 million Canadians with prediabetes and diabetes. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your stay, safe travel home, and God bless.
I ran the Rome Marathon for Laura Milner White.
I run for my mother and my oldest sister Lucy, who recently have been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes.
I'm running for my dad.
I'm running for my mom.
I run for my father.
I run for my father.
I run for my cousin Daniel.
I walk in memory of my dad.
I run for my uncle and my children.
I run for my mom.
I run for my kids.
I'm running for myself and for all the people out there who think that they can't do something.
I run for my own fitness, to inspire other people to try and stay fit and healthy, and to set and achieve goals.
I run for my kids, Danielle, Connor, and Drew.
I run for Warren Pickett, my brother.
I run for my husband, Stephen.
I run for better health and the elimination of heart disease and diabetes.
And I run for my husband, Doug.
I run for my brother.